All right, hey, it's Anthony Iannarino, and I want to go through all 4 books real quick, and then I will show you the new book. First book I wrote was called The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need. It is a competency model, and it's a comprehensive look at B2B sales. And what I did here is I added some of the new skills that we need in sales, things like business acumen and change management and leadership. This is a very good fundamental book. When people read this, they generally say something like, not only am I a better salesperson, but I'm a better husband and I'm a better father and all of those kinds of things. So that's always nice to hear. A very good book, especially if you're brand new to sales. This one will help you tremendously. The second book I wrote is called The Lost Art of Closing, Winning the 10 Commitments That Drive Sales. I published this book 10 months after The Only Sales Guide because this is an extension of the closing section in The Only Sales Guide, and I needed to make this larger because the sales conversation has gone non-linear. So we want to go through this straight line, like target, qualify, discovery, and so on and so forth. But it doesn't work that anyway. It doesn't work that way anymore anyway. So this is a book that will let you control the process by trading value for every single conversation you ask your client to have with you and making it worth their while to have that conversation. So we have to teach them what they need to do to be able to successfully get through their buyer's journey and make the right decision. This book does this. Nobody says this book makes them a better person. All they ever say about this book is, I make more money than I used to make. So this is the money book for you if you want it. This is probably the second money book right here. Eat Their Lunch, Winning Customers Away from Your Competition. This is my experience as a salesperson. I worked in a commoditized industry, and what I had to learn to do was to differentiate. And I couldn't differentiate on my company. I couldn't differentiate on a solution. There was no differentiation that was going to make any difference to anyone until I figured out that it was only the value that you create in the conversation you have with your clients that gives you the differentiation. So this will teach you how to start at level 4, which means the strategic outcomes, and go backwards instead of going the direction that most people do in a legacy approach. So this book is critical reading, and I think everybody that has read this have said, I used to think I was consultative, but now I know I'm nothing near consultative, and this book will straighten that out. Okay, book number 4. This is my soul as a sales book. So this is it. This is what's captured me as a salesperson. This is Elite Sales Strategies, a guide to being one-up, creating value, and becoming truly consultative. This book is about being one-up, and one-up means that I know more than you know about the decision that you're making because I have greater knowledge and I have greater experience because I do this every day, and you buy this every 7 years or occasionally. So you can't have the same view of somebody that's helping hundreds or thousands of companies get a certain result when you only buy something once. That's not going to be a fair fight. So we have what we call information disparity. The book is largely around some of the newer strategies and tactics necessary to execute what I call a modern sales approach. So these 4 books are all around the modern sales approach. So this is what I've done for salespeople. But during that time, I haven't done anything for sales managers or sales leaders until now with the new book, Leading Growth. And these just showed up today. They will be available on September 21st, but there is a way that you can get one potentially sooner and potentially signed. So this book is called it's called Leading Growth because it's about generating net new revenue. And the subtitle is The Proven Formula for Consistently Increasing Revenue. That's what you have to do as a sales manager and a sales leader. The book is broken into 4 parts, and I'll run you through them really quickly. So the first thing is called Foundations for Growth, and that's your vision. Where are you taking these people? What are we going to do together? Once you recognize that you have a vision, then you have to help your team transform, which means if we couldn't get that goal last year, even though we did everything we thought we were supposed to do, something has to change, which means we have to transform in some way. And if you want to make sure your transformation works, you're going to have to communicate continuously. So you can't be boring, you can't be repetitive, so you're going to have to find a new way to do that, and we'll show you how to do that in the book. The second part of the book is called Taking the Lead, and this is about your leadership style. probably consensus builder, probably democratic, probably high engagement. That's all good until somebody decides I'm not going to prospect anymore, and then we're going to have to make some other choices. So in that chapter, you're going to find 7 styles, and you're going to need all of those styles for different scenarios and different individuals on your team, because they all need something different from you at different times. All right, and then from there we go to decision making. And these aren't the decisions that you make day to day. These are the strategic decisions you have to make. And what we'll show you is a plan to say, here's how to set a date to make that decision, and then here's how to deliberate so that I can make the best decision possible. And listen, you're going to make good decisions and bad decisions when you're a leader. That's what happens. But you can't worry about that, because no one's going to have a 100% win rate on their decision making. It just doesn't work that way. But you still have to make the decision, and you still have to do the work to get better. And then after that, there's a chapter on strategy and alignment. There's a bunch of sub-strategies in here you're going to find that are going to be very interesting to you, like predatory pricing and land and expand and land grabs and a whole bunch of things like that. The third section is accountability, people, and effectiveness. You got to talk about people, because that's the whole thing. So there's a chapter about accountability, and that will help you. And then there's a chapter on structures of accountability. This is something very, very different. It's all the structures that you put in place that cause people to feel accountability even without you nagging them. So that's awful helpful. The chapter on people is about hiring and determining who to bring onto your team, and then how to help them become more effective. So that's chapter 7, 8, 9. 10 is about effectiveness, which, if you know my work, you know that I believe that effectiveness is the most important thing for you to accomplish. The more effective your team, the better. And then the last section of the book is called An Eye to the Future, and that's all about managing opportunities, forecasting, protecting your sales force from being something other than a sales force, building your cadence, and then starting this over with your next step. So this thing's going to go around and around. Each year you're going to start with your vision, you're going to execute for the whole year, and then you're going to start this process over again. So the book is called Leading Growth. You can get it right now, pre-order on Amazon.com. And if you send me your receipt, as long as I don't run out of books, I will swap your book. So you can give the book that you buy to someone else, and I will send you a signed copy from my own personal books that I got from Wiley, the publisher. So if you're a leader, if you're a sales manager, if someone in your life is one of those things and you want to give them a book, or you want to buy a book for yourself, pick up Leading Growth. It's a very, very helpful guide. I'm going to tell you it's going to do the same thing that the Only Sales Guide did, except for leaders. It's going to give you a comprehensive look at how to grow revenue. And I grew a company from $3 million to $50 million with essentially 4 salespeople total, in a business where you churn $3 million every single year. So this is what I know. It's what I know that works, and I know it's exactly what you need if you want to grow net new revenue year after year after year. Okay, so I'm Anthony Iannarino. Thank you for watching this. Pick up the book, and until I see you next time, do good work, and I'll see you soon.